good to see everybody this morning. All right, you guys can smile, all right, all right. Let's see those smiles. Let's see those pretty white teeth. Come on and smile for me. There we go. That's a lot better. You're making me feel a lot more comfortable up here, all right? You don't have to be so stiff. We can relax a little bit. It's fine. No problem with me. But thank you again for allowing me to come and minister with you today. Thank all of you that have been dedicated here in the music program and Brother Charles and all that they do to keep everything going while you're in transition. I personally know how that is. Last year, the pastor at Cross Point left, and through a train of events, I was the only pastor left there with about 800 people. So I had to pull the load there for a while until our pastor came to say, now, man, things are just going wonderful there. But I want to thank you. My name is Jeremy Mew again. My wife Anna came back here with our daughter Lydia and our son Silas. And we brought some friends of ours who were very helpful in ministry at Cross Point with us. Pastor Eric and Emily and their son Eli, who help out in our student ministries. Eric helps out a whole lot with me personally. And they wanted to come be a part of it today, to be with me here and to give us some support as we come to minister with you. I've been at Cross Point now for over 4 years, working on my 5th year there. Came there from Cleveland, Tennessee, where I was at a church as kind of an associate pastor role there, and was there for 3 years while I was working on my master's degree there at the seminary. But originally, just a good old South Carolina boy. Dillon, South Carolina's home. Any of you been to Myrtle Beach? Anybody been to Myrtle Beach here? I'm not from there. But I'm only 60 miles west. So we spent a lot of time there growing up, vacationing there, having a good time. But I really appreciate you guys allowing me to come here today. Man, I couldn't wait to see the mountain coming over here. Man, if it wasn't fogged up. And then finally I could see the outline of it a little bit. Anna Kate spoke up, there's the mountain, Jeremy, there it is. And we really appreciate you guys allowing us to come today and be with you. If you will, I'm going to be reading, so you can get there. I'm going to be reading from 1 Peter today, chapter 1. So if you guys want to go ahead and turn there with me, 1 Peter, chapter 1, I'm going to be ministering from there. And hopefully we can do something today that I'm calling reaching for holiness. And for us as Christians, that is one of the things that Peter gives direct command for us to do, is to reach for that of holiness. And in a day and age where everything is so out of whack in this world, and that really there are no limits in this life, it doesn't seem like, God is still prescribing for us that of holiness. And holiness living is that which is what God wants for us. And Peter is telling the church that here today. I want to start out with that, you know what, there's many things in this life that we go through. There's many things that happen to us. We are at times crushed, we're overwhelmed, devastated, torn, and many different waves of emotions come over us with the things that we suffer through. They obliterate hope, they destroy our thinking pattern, and at times the things of this life threaten to destroy us. I mean, even now, with our economy the way it is, and with many uncertainties in this life, we have so many different emotions that come over us. We have so many different things that try to destroy us. I know in our own personal life, there are things that are coming up. You know, decisions that we are making. And man, at times, it seems like life is so uncertain. I don't even know where to turn. But in the suffering, it may come in different forms. No matter what it comes in, there is a God who's wanting to help us through it. No matter what pain, no matter what anguish we go through, we are not to turn back, we are not to surrender, and we are not to give up. And many of the first century followers of Christ were suffering the same way that we are today, and even worse. Because you know what? In America, we don't have to worry about being abused. We don't have to worry about truly being persecuted for what we believe. But beginning in Jerusalem, during the first century, at the hands of their own brothers, the Jewish community, they began to persecute the Christians. And it climaxed with Rome saying that they were going to rid the whole empire of the Christ ones. So it was Rome's goal to get rid of all of those who would not hold Caesar as king. Peter knew persecution firsthand. Peter doesn't just write about persecution because he felt like writing about it. He understood that there were Christians that had been thrown in jail. He understood that there were Christians that had been beaten and even executed. He himself would see persecution by hanging on a cross and dying upside down because he said